Have you ever watched someone long enough that you started to forget which one of you was real? I live alone, at least I thought I did. But lately, someone in my apartment building has been copying me. Perfectly. Every move, every word. I don't know how they're doing it, or why, but what scares me the most is the creeping suspicion that maybe I'm the copy. And if I am, then what happens when they no longer need me? I moved into this apartment complex a little over 5 months ago. It was cheap, clean, and quiet, which was exactly what I needed after the breakdown. It's a square building with 4 floors, built in the 70s, shaped like a hollow rectangle, so the units face inward toward a small courtyard. I'm on the 2nd floor, Unit 204. Across from me is 207, same layout, same dimensions. The building is practically symmetrical. But here's the thing. I've never seen anyone go in or out of 207. That didn't bother me at first. Some people work nights, or maybe they're just private. I actually liked having a quiet neighbor. But about a month ago, I started hearing noises, muffled voices, the scrape of furniture, footsteps pacing across the floor, always late at night. I convinced myself it was nothing. Thin walls, bad acoustics, typical apartment life. But one night, I couldn't sleep. The pacing started around 2 a.m. It went on for what felt like hours. Back and forth, back and forth. I got up, peeked through the peephole, and I swear to God, I saw someone standing in their doorway. They didn't knock, didn't move, just stood there, perfectly still, like they were listening. I stood frozen for a full minute. Then I blinked, and they were gone. The next day, I thought maybe I'd imagined it. Sleep deprivation can do that, right? I tried to brush it off, went about my day, ate lunch on the balcony, read a book. That evening, I microwaved some leftover spaghetti and sat down on the couch to eat. And that's when I noticed it. The blinds on the window of 207 were open, just a crack, enough to see in. And in that moment, I swear I saw someone sitting on a couch, eating spaghetti, from the exact same blue bowl I was using. I stood up, my skin cold. The person across the hall did too. I raised my hand slowly. So did they. I backed away from the window and closed the curtains. My heart was hammering. I told myself it was a coincidence. Maybe I was being paranoid. Maybe the building's symmetry was playing tricks on me. But then, it kept happening. Every night, I'd see small glimpses, reflections in windows, shadows on walls, and each time, that person was doing exactly what I was doing. Same clothes, same posture, same gestures. At one point, I left my apartment to take out the trash, then doubled back and peeked through the stairwell window to look across the courtyard. There, on the balcony of 207, was me. Same hoodie, same haircut, smoking a cigarette, just like I used to before I quit a year ago. I tried to ignore it, but how can you ignore something that watches you constantly? I started testing it. Small things. I'd walk backwards. They would too. I'd wave erratically, like a madman, then spin in circles. And across the courtyard, they mirrored me exactly. Every move in sync. But I could never get a clear look at their face. Eventually, I did something drastic. I turned off all the lights in my apartment one night and stood behind the curtain. Across the hall, the other apartment was completely dark, except for the glow of a single lamp, illuminating the person inside. It was like looking into a distorted mirror. The movements were mine, but twitchier, more exaggerated, like a bad puppet show. They started dancing, wildly, chaotically. I wasn't moving at all, but the thing across the hall was still mimicking my past movements, like it was on a delay. And then it stopped and turned to face me. I couldn't see the face clearly, but I felt it staring. And then it smiled. I slammed the curtain shut and didn't sleep that night. I started isolating myself even more. I didn't go to work, didn't answer texts. I just watched, waited, tried to make sense of it. One night, I left my apartment, crept down the hall, and stood in front of 207. My hand trembled as I reached for the doorknob. It turned. The door wasn't locked. But when I pushed it open, it was my apartment. Not a copy, not a mirror. My actual apartment. Same couch, same bookshelf. Same dent in the wall from when I threw my phone during a breakdown 2 months ago. Even the framed photo of my sister and I was sitting on the TV stand, cracked from the time I dropped it. I stepped inside. The air was cold, still. The room smelled like me, lived in, familiar. Then I heard the front door slam behind me. I ran back, but there was no door, just a wall, smooth and featureless. I wasn't in 207 anymore. I was still in 204, but something was off. I checked the photo again. In the picture, my sister's face was wrong, blurry, like it had been smeared by a wet thumb. I turned on the TV. The screen flickered to life, but it was me, sitting on the couch, watching the TV. I was on every channel. I unplugged it, but the screen stayed on. And then the voice started. It whispered from the walls, the floors, even the light fixtures. "Which one are you?" I tried to scream, but my throat was dry, like dust. My limbs stopped listening to me. I'd try to walk left and go right. I tried to punch the mirror and watched my reflection smile while I stared in horror. I don't know how long I was in there. Days? Weeks? Time didn't exist in that place. Eventually, I woke up on my floor, in my apartment, 204. Everything looked normal. But I know it isn't, because now, I'm the one who watches. Every night, I go to the window, and I see someone in 207. They look just like me, move like me, eat what I eat, wear what I wear. But they're not doing it at the same time anymore. They're one step ahead. I wave, they're already waving. I speak, they're already mouthing my words before I open my mouth. And I know that one day they're going to step outside that door. And I won't be the one watching anymore. Last night, I caught my reflection smiling when I wasn't. Just a flicker, a glitch, but I saw it. And this morning, my neighbor across the hall is gone. I'm not sure who left the apartment, but I don't think it was them. I think it was me. Thank you for tuning in. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.